What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So we're going to get back into some boxing talk. And the whole entire world is sitting at a standstill waiting for the announcement of Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford, right? This is the fight to make in boxing. This is the mega fight that everybody wants to see. Everybody's been clamoring for this fight for the last couple of years. Errol Spence Jr. has 3 belts. Terence Crawford has 1. There's nowhere else to go. All roads lead to each other. Everybody like, look, let's make the fight happen. The problem is there seems to be running into some problems with negotiations regarding to what people believe to be money, financial, like the financial, the percentages when it comes to money, right? And so you have certain people saying, hey, look, Errol Spence should be, he is the A side. He is well within his rights to demand 55-45 or 60-40. You got other people who are saying, look, no, man. Terence Crawford, this is an undisputed fight. Both fighters are great. Both fighters are undefeated. Both fighters are champions. It should only be 50-50 split. That's it. Errol Spence is not justified in asking for a 60-40 split or a 55-45 split in favor over Terence Crawford. And here's my response to this. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm a big Errol Spence Jr. fan. I'm a fan of both of these individuals' fighting abilities, but y'all know I rock with Errol. You know, I'm more of a fan, much more of a fan of him than Terence Crawford, even though I respect the hell out of Bud's abilities and what he's done within the sport, right? But all bias aside, it's the truth. Errol Spence Jr. is well within his rights. He is more than justified to ask for 55-45 or 60-40 in this fight. The reasons being, Errol has more belts. He has better pay-per-view numbers. He has bigger names on his resume at 147. At 147, he has bigger names on his resume, and it's not even close. I don't care what nobody tells you. You can't convince me that Jose Benavidez Jr., Amir Khan, Kell Brook, what was he fought Kell in 2021? That Kell Brook is not the same as 2017 Kell Brook. In 2015, 2016 Kell Brook. Who else he fought? Mean Machine. Jeff Horn. That ain't the same as fighting. He did beat Sean Porter though. Stopped Sean Porter too. That ain't the same as fighting Danny Garcia. That ain't the same as fighting Dick Kell Brook in 2017. That ain't the same as fighting your Dennis Ugas. That ain't the same as fighting who else I about to name, man? Even at the time. And Lamont wasn't like a real humongous, like, what people looked at as this great, extremely great champion, but Lamont was a solid fighter for sure. That ain't even the same as fighting Lamont. Let me pull up Errol's resume. That ain't the same. Them fighters is not the same. Now, I'll give y'all Mikey Garcia, since Mikey was coming up, like, 2 weight classes to fight Errol. But even at that time, Errol was looked at, people thought Mikey could beat Errol just because they felt like Mikey was more skilled. But to me, man, Bud's competition and Errol's competition is not the same, man. I feel like Errol would have probably stopped those guys, those individuals as well, right? Or beat them soundly. So, and I think some of the guys on Errol's resume would have beat those guys that Terence beat as well. So I feel like he has the bigger names on his resume, and he also sells more tickets. So he's well within his rights to demand 55-45 or 60-40. Anybody that watches boxing and is honest with themselves will agree with what I'm saying. Now, other people's points would be, or, in favor of Terence Crawford having a 50-50 split, they'll say, well, Terence is the one that's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and that's true, right? But pound for pound does not indicate how much the split in a fight at 147. Pound for pound takes into consideration what Terence Crawford did at 135 and 140 as well as 147. But at 147, just because he's won belts in different weight classes, that does not give him leverage coming into this fight. Like, it doesn't. Like, it is what it is. Errol has more belts. He has the better guys on his resume right now. So he would be the A side. I even heard Deontay Wilder, for all the flack Deontay Wilder gets, people call him delusional. People say, oh my God, he says the most dumb stuff and all this. And the guys in the UK say he talks rubbish. I remember when he was on the Breakfast Club and they asked, Charlemagne, I believe, asked him who would be the A side in the fight. And Deontay Wilder, he even said, Anthony Joshua, he would be the A side in the fight. He would be the A side. He has the most belts. He would be the A side. He even acquiesced to that at that time. He said Anthony Joshua would be the A side in the fight that we fought. So with him knowing that, he knows that he wouldn't get the same purse that Anthony Joshua would get in that. Now, after the fight, if he would have whooped Anthony Joshua and beat him, then he could be the A side. But at that point, going into that fight, he knew he wouldn't be the A side. So I don't see how, like, people think Terence Crawford should be like an equal to Errol as far as you can say he's an equal as far as like a threat. You can even say Terence is more skilled than him. You can believe Terence is a better fighter, but you can't believe he deserves a 50-50 split in this. If he gets a 50-50 split, I wouldn't be mad. Go ahead, Errol, get that boy his money, get a brother his money. It's all good. I'll be like, cool. But that would be them really being generous in that situation to give him the 50-50 split. Like, again, Errol got 3 belts, better resume, better pay-per-view numbers. He sells more tickets. Now, Errol Spence is not Canelo Alvarez. He not Oscar De La Hoya. But his numbers and all that are better than Terence's. So he's well within his rights to demand 55-45 or 60-40. It is what it is, man. I think a lot of people don't want to hear that. They don't like to hear it. They think it's just people trying to bullshit or lowball. But no, man, it's a part of the fight game, man. When you got a mega fight like this, somebody's going to get a bigger piece of the pie. Floyd Mayweather understood that when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, he wasn't the A side. He agreed to those terms. He fought and beat Oscar and then said, hey, if Oscar want to fight again, he didn't get the rematch, but hey, if Oscar would have fight him again, he would be dictating the terms that time because he would become the A side, right? And so, I know Errol shouldn't try to offer him no 70-30, no bullshit like that. But I think 60-40 is, I understand that. 55-45, I understand that for sure. Not no 70-30, no 80-20, no dumb shit like that at all. And even Errol Spence said, hell nah, I was just talking shit. I was just playing. Ain't nobody gonna take that. I wouldn't dare try to offer that man nothing like that at all. Because he know that's preposterous. He know that's crazy. But a 60-40, 55-45 split, shit, what's wrong with that? I believe he's justified in offering that money. And if people think that Terence gonna whoop Errol as easy as they think, Bud should be like, you know what, okay, cool, I agree to the 60-40, 55-45. And Bud should say, okay, I'm going to just whoop your ass. And after that, when we get the rematch going, I will get the bigger share of the pot the next time. And it is what it is, fam. Then let it be like that. You know, and I would agree with that, even though I got Errol Spence Jr. in that fight all the way. I know Bud ain't no slouch and Bud ain't no pushover. Bud is tough as fucking nails. I understand that. I understand that and I respect that brother for his fighting prowess. But at the same time, come on, y'all. Like, Bud is not Bud should not automatically get 50-50. If he get 50-50, that's cool. For sure. I'm not arguing him. I'm not saying I don't want him to get no 50-50. He don't need it. I'm just saying that Errol Spence is justified in him saying, I want 60-40 or I want 55-45. Errol Spence is justified in saying it. I'm not saying Bud shouldn't get no 50 and he don't need to get it. I don't want him to get it. But I understand where Errol Spence is coming from. And everybody should too. If Bud get a 50-50 split, it would be generous of Errol and his squad and his team to do that. It is what it is, man. I've been watching boxing for a long time. That's like if Mike Tyson was the champion at the time. If Mike Tyson never went to jail. And Evander Holyfield, you know, he's unified. He was undisputed champion at cruiserweight. If he moved up and then he fought heavyweight, he put a string of victories together and he got 1 belt, right? And Mike had all the other belts. Evander Holyfield ain't justified in asking for no 50-50 split. He ain't getting that. If Mike would have never went to jail and Mike was still at the top and he came up, people are not going to take into consideration, Evander was, undisputed at another weight class, so he should be pound for pound. He was undisputed at that weight class. Now he was undisputed at cruiserweight, so he should be 50-50 because look what he did in 2 different weight classes. No, it's all about what you doing at that moment. That split is determined what you doing at that weight class that you're in currently. What you did at that weight class. Not what you did at all the other shit before then. That ain't how that go. That ain't how boxing work. We ain't taking into account or factoring in what you did at the other weight classes to try to make that to try to build your case for getting 50-50. That's not how that works. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? And Evander Holyfield was never a bigger draw than Mike Tyson. Even though I feel like Evander was a better heavyweight champion than Mike, he wasn't a bigger draw. He wasn't, man. You feel me? That's like Floyd wasn't a bigger draw than Oscar when he fought him. He wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, people probably would have given Gennady Golovkin an edge against Floyd Mayweather. He wasn't a bigger star than Floyd Mayweather was at the time. So, yeah, man. And Errol is not like this super mega Canelo Alvarez star or nothing like that. But he sells more than Terence. He does better numbers than Terence. He got more belts than Terence. He has bigger names on his resume. It is what it is, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Peace.